Another way to declare war on the status quo, educate them out of the status quo with a nexus. Type I have if you've heard me talk about the nexus before. I want to see if anybody has been exposed to this. I'm guessing at least a few people in the audience have, but this is probably going to be new for most of you. Unless there is a lag on webinar. Okay, a few people have. Here we go. A bunch of you have. All right, let's talk about it. Have not, a bunch of people have not. Okay, great sales messages lead with insight. Insight that unwinds the status quo when you do this right. Zora pitch deck is a good example, yes. Okay, so here's how I define a nexus. It is a polarizing insight that changes the way your customer thinks and feels about the business problem your product solves. Polarizing insight that changes how people feel and think about the problem you solve. And I'm going to give you an example. This book, the marketing plan for this book, led with a nexus. Okay, this is a book called The Power of Full Engagement. It was written maybe 20 years ago or so. And how they marketed the book and the entire thesis of the book is they say the key to productivity, like personal productivity, is not about time management like everybody talks about. It's about energy management. It is about using your body's natural rhythm to be productive, not just time management. Okay, so when you're marketing a book in the crowded space of personal productivity, that cuts through the clutter like hot knife into butter. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but that came out really well. That cuts through the clutter like knife into butter. It's like I rehearsed that or something. No, that just came out of my noggin. The point is, by going to market with this book in this way, they changed how the market thought about the problem. Chris has bars. I don't even know what that means. Say it again. I don't know what part you're referring to there, but we're talking about the nexus. They changed how people interested in productivity thought about the problem, which made them far more receptive to purchasing this book. I was one of those people in their target audience. Okay, so true to the Zora framework that somebody mentioned, the old way they mentioned is time management. Manage time, life is a marathon, downtime is wasted time. That was the paradigm that they were shifting. And they said, all of that's bullshit. Sure, manage your time, but the real way to maximum productivity is energy management. You manage your energy. Life is a series of sprints and recovery rather than an ongoing marathon, and downtime is productive time. Okay, this is what a nexus looks like. This changes how the market thinks and feels about your problem, and it changes how a customer does that, right? When you do this well, this shifts this person's worldview as it relates to the problem that your product or service solves. And doing that changes their buying behavior. Number one, it can insulate you from competitors, but number two, it can disrupt their status quo in a way that gets them to buy. Okay, this shifts the buying criteria. The words in the parentheses are worth meditating on, right? Imagine you're selling this book, like you're a marketer for the book that I just mentioned. Why can't I think of the name? Power of Full Engagement. Imagine trying to sell a time management book when they're going to market with that message. Very difficult if you get people to buy in. Very difficult. Somebody says a little bit of Challenger in there to an extent. Totally true. Okay, a nexus is like, actually I should say it the other way, a commercial reframe, which they teach in Challenger, is a type of nexus. Okay, so you're gonna have to figure this out on your own, but I can give you the tools to do it. So screenshot this while you have a chance. There are 5 attributes to an effective nexus. 1, it changes how your buyer thinks or feels about the problem. 2, it shakes their confidence in a good way, right? If I'm seeing this book and it's like energy management's the thing, not time management, it starts to get me to question my beliefs. 3, it's polarizing. 20% of people will actively disagree with it, and other people will rave about it. You know you're onto something when you have that effect. 4, it's a clear binary statement. You're not beating around the bush. They would say things like time management is dead, energy management is the new way. What if they beat around the bush? What if they're like, time management kind of works, but not quite as good as everybody else thinks, and you should consider energy management? That carries no punch. It needs to be clear. It needs to be binary. And number 5, if somebody believes your message and buys into it, it's more likely they will buy from you rather than a competitor. So one more slide to screenshot. This is an exercise you should go do with people within your company, but these are some questions you can ask yourself to start coming up with your own nexus. Okay, what conventional wisdom do your buyers automatically accept that should be questioned? What do your buyers believe about their situations that's no longer true? What are your buyers doing to solve their problem that's actually counterproductive? And what do your buyers need to believe to buy into your solution over your competitors? Start to answer these questions, and it will put you on the path to coming up with your own nexus. It's going to take a lot of trial and error. I can't tell you what your nexus is going to be, but I can give you the tools and the raw material to get started.